Hi, welcome back everybody. Workshop number 14. Today we're going to talk about social media and how it can help you promote your work. When you've probably seen when I've done a little bit of you'll see it later on actually when we do the quick check of our workshop group, how I've been a little bit disappointed you haven't had more favorites. So prompted by another inquiry by one of our group and suggested why don't we talk about social media. I thought it'd be a good time to do that because I think you can work things to get people to get to your FLICKR site or to your website to look at your work. And I think it's important for you to, in actual fact, to get that emotion and to set things up. And some of the things which are available to you now on the internet to promote this work are very interesting and very easy to set up. So we'll come to that later, but I just want to do a recap from last week because there are a couple of points which I forgot to mention actually. So I'm going to go straight to the screen share and recap on last week's workshop, which was, as we said, discussed about landscapes. And thank you very much indeed for all the very kind comments that were made with regards to the workshop on landscapes. So what I really wanted to point out a couple of things. One major point in landscapes, make sure your horizon is level. This is the most important aspect of any landscape photography. Your horizons must be level. They can't be skewed for any reason apart from a mistake made by the photographer and it becomes glaring. So really make sure that your horizons are level, and you can do that quite simply in all your editing tools with a simple ruler option which is available to you. The other point I wanted to mention was you don't necessarily have to have your landscape photography taken in the landscape mode of image, and I'll demonstrate that to you after I come out of the screen share. As you can see on the on this Pinterest site here, if I just quickly blow up a photograph taken by Simon Weir, this is what I would term as a landscape composed photograph. The longer edge is on the base, the shorter edge is on the upright. And from this image you can see Simon has decided that the most important aspect he wants to show of this landscape image is the reflection of the trees, obviously, but the main aspect is the clouds and the sky. So in actual fact has positioned the horizon lower, in the lower third of the image. So these are important points. A, get your horizon level. B, check which you want to show to your viewer. Do you want to show more sky or more of the river, as in this example? Simon's chosen he wants to show a lot more of the sky because of this interesting aspect which is carrying on, but at the same time he realizes he must have some reflection of those bushes and the trees on the far bank. Let's go to another one. This one again by Simon. Effectively the horizon is in the lower third, but he's demonstrating to you that he wants you to see the sky and he wants to see that running river. I'll come out of this just because I want to click straight on to a vertical landscape. Here we have the longer edge is on the upright and the shorter edge is on the base. And this is by David Noten, the one I showed you about the poppies and the moving grass. Here, David again makes sure the horizon's level in the top third of the image. He wants to show you the moving parts of the grasses and the poppy. He's got an interesting skyline, but his main aspect of showing you this image is the green and the red poppies. So again, the photographer is showing the viewer where to look. Okay, so you're keeping the horizon level, and in this case, he's chosen to do a landscape photograph in the vertical mode. Michael Kenner is different. He uses a square format camera, so it doesn't matter whether he chooses landscape or in the horizontal fashion or landscape in the portrait fashion. They're square, so they come out as they are. But look, the horizon is back here, and it is deliberately sloped because it is a hill, but it is in the top third. So this is the different aspects you've got to look for. But one thing, of course, if he'd leveled that horizon, the tree would have been at a stupid angle. So the tree is upright. It gives you the form of balance, and it gives you a form of knowing that the world is correct. One final image, another square by Michael Kenner there, and another square again. Though, look, a low horizon here because he wants to show you this tree. So he brought the tree into the fashion, and of course the sky is slightly darkened out on the top with a vignette. Again, the horizon is level. Vertical format here by David Brookover, showing the valley in its depth. I think if you'd gone to a landscape photograph, the longer edge on the base, they would have flattened out that valley and not shown such a deep angles of the valley side. So he's gone vertical, showing the valley, and of course then he's got the horizon in the top third of the image because he wants to show you more of the valley than the sky. Even though in this case the sky's pretty interesting, isn't it? And another vertical. And this one, final image I'm going to show you from this is a panorama. And really, the horizon is dead center because he feels there's enough interest in the foreground leading up to the columns there in the desert, as well as an interesting sky. So it's up to you to decide when you do your photography and your composition, how you position the horizon, whether you want to show more of the foreground or whether you want to show more of the sky, and that is up to you. You're the artist, and you want to show your viewer where to look. Just to quickly show you, this is landscape in the normal form, the longer edges on the bottom, and that is what I would term as a landscape in the vertical form with a longer edge on the side and the shorter edge on the base. That basically sums that up. Okay. Let's go to the FLICKR group. Let's have a look at the images that have been uploaded. Again, we've got some great images being uploaded. Thank you so much, and thank you for some very kind comments on an image which I put up. We'll go to the FLICKR group. This was my one, which I called it a change of camera on there in one of the titles, but in actual fact, the title of this image is Bleak. It's taken down in my local park. I've decided to keep the horizon really very low here, total negative space. It was snowing at the time, so I just wanted to emphasize the bleakness of the park on that particular day. The next image was taken in the fields. This I've decided to go for square format. I've kept the horizon level, the houses are upright, showing the steepness of the fields, and it really was a dreadful day in terms of weather, mist and cloud and drizzle. And I think I've emphasized that with the clouds in the hills here in the valley. Moving on. Nice photograph here by John. I like this, John. I've got to be honest, I don't know whether though I should be looking at the bird or whether I should be looking at the tree. That's my confusion here as I look at the image. But it's a nice setting. It's a nice park where the image has been taken. I wonder what would have happened if you'd gone straight to cropping straight in on that on the bird itself and just left it at that. You've really got two images here, but it's a nice image and a nice record of the bird by the side of this lake or river. A nice image by Peter here, an abstract shot really of a building, and I like the way this angle takes you away, and there's angles all over this line, really more angles here, nice color saturation, a little bit of lightness up here. That doesn't really make much difference to the photograph, but I like the angle and I like the way that you're prepared to get in, and there's a good depth of field as well that you've created with the composition. Yeah, that's a nice abstract shot of the building. The second one, which I looked at as well, you're showing a little bit more here. I'm wondering, in actual fact, whether I would have cropped off the just for an abstract view, cropped off the aria there and brought that straight down. This text, I want to read this text, and I think the image concentration and where you want the viewer to be looking is here. And I'm drifting away to aria, and I want to read resort and where welcome. Okay, so that's the confusing part of it. So I would have just cropped it straight down the side there. Personal opinion. Nice image here of the reflection in the pond by John. John, is this lighter area up here which catches my eye? I like this area around here. This is beautiful reflection of the trees. You could have been really, really brave here and just cropped it straight off the top and relied on the reflection of the lake. Personal preference, there again, you could have toned this area down in the center to bring a little bit more of a balance. Lighter areas in photographs always lead the eye away from the main concentration. The main concentration is this beautiful reflection in the lake. You don't want your viewer disappearing off of, as I show you where the cursor's going. So this area, if you can, tone it down, maybe just bring a little bit of vibrance out, or saturate the blues there and emphasize that cloud. Or as I say, probably just literally tone the whole area down. Or if you really want to get bold, how about just cropping it straight off the top there, straight across that line? And that would have, in actual fact, you have a look at it, John, and let me know what you think. Mind you, here we go. Here's my comments, and look at this, 114 favorites. So what am I? Who am I to make a comment? Thank you, Atza, for your comments and correspondence. Really nice to hear from you. And a nice mono shot here. You've kept the bridge horizontal. I like that. A little bit of whispery cloud, a little bit of reflection of the bridge here in the water, and you can see that moving. Just to suggest 22 favorites. I better not say too much, but I wonder what would it have looked like if you've done an ND filter on that and really got these clouds moving more, and more of this this river moving. It's a great shot, but I'm wondering whether there's rooms for an improvement by considering using a longer exposure with an ND filter, like a 10 stopper, something of that nature. Nice image here, a fairly straightforward one. It's a little bit flat. I would like to see a vignette in the corners, just to darken the corners down and make me concentrate on the man there with his what appears to be, well, his child, obviously, what appears to be a daughter, and the swans. There's a flying bird there, which is a distraction for me. I would clone that out, quite honestly. I'd just get rid of that. It serves no purpose to the image at all. But it's a little bit flat, and I'd like to see, perhaps you could add a little bit more clarity in the Lightroom module, the developer, which would just give it a little bit more punch and a little bit more contrast. You could add as well, but I would suggest a vignette on the four corners, which would again get me to look more into the center of the image. 11 favorites though, so you're getting your work seen. Nice image here by Thorpe, who sent me a very nice message today. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. I like this, showing the sun bursting through the cloud. You've got the natural toned down corners, which again emphasizes in there the silhouette of the windmill, or yeah, I'll call it a windmill for now. And then of course these bursts of sun rays through the trees, and then you're just showing with the light here this roof section here and the bridge. And actual fact, the more you look around, there's so much more to see. There's mist in the background there, and a little bit of reflection through the lens, sort of like a reflection of your lens, a lens blur, I suppose, or flare. That's the word I'm looking for. A little bit of lens flare, which adds to the image. And it's the more you look at it, this tells a lovely little story, actually. So well done for that. And you've only got 4 favorites. And again, you've got to remember, a lot of Thorpe's work is done with film cameras. So that's something for us all to consider. Nice image, that one. Very straightforward landscape shot here by Justin. A little bit bright in the corners, bottom left and right here, Justin. I would just tone those down a little bit. You've got the kiddies playing here or walking. There's not a lot really to be added to this. I think this is a little bit too close to the top. If there is any chance of some room to just take this top part of the image a little bit higher, it's a little bit close. But all in all, it's a good record of a day out on the coast. Yes, a little bit toning down in the corners would help. But this part here, it's too tight on the top part of your image. And this one is the classic example, unfortunately, Justin, of the sloping horizon. You've got a sloping horizon there, which continues all the way down. Now, that may well be the coastline bending round, but this is not. So you've got to level that horizon up. And the sky here on the top left-hand corner needs to be toned down. You can do that with a graduated filter in Lightroom. Just drag your graduation down and just tone that corner down with the vignette. And then I think you'll see it pop out at you, and it'll be a far more pleasing shot. So two main points there, the horizon and this fairly, it's not solid obviously because you can see some cloud there, and I think if you put some clarity into that you would get more cloud structure, which would lend itself to a better image. Nice image here by Stephen. He's gone for a really subdued lighting, almost like there's a glamour filter that you can put on your images, and I'd hasten to probably add he's probably done this in this particular image, but I really like this emphasis, keeping the horizon in the lower third. He likes the cloud formation, and he's got the reflection in the pond or the lake or the over flooded river, whichever this is. It looks like it's a river that's broken its banks. So he's called it wet feet. Yeah, I bet you got wet feet as well. But I'm really disappointed here for you, Stephen. One favorite. You should be getting more for that. And maybe just a tad brighten it in the center. But really, I'm being pernickety there. But it's a lovely shot. Sorry about my phone going off. And this one here taken by Stephen, looking through the trees, looking towards the sun. Who said you can't take photographs into the sun these days? You can with these digital cameras. Beautiful blue sky, and you've got the tree there with the blossom. And yeah, I like this image. It's well thought out. A bright area here. That's obviously the sun coming through. It's not a problem, and it's not blown out. So you've got some coloration there, which is good, and nice shadows here as well. Yeah, that's a nice, pleasing shot. 7 favorites. Be nice to have more, wouldn't it, Stephen? And John, I know, has just come back. He went for a golfing break in Morocco, and obviously did some street photography as well. Well done, John, for taking your camera. I like this. You caught the eye. Yes, they're moving away. It's a little bit blurred, but it doesn't matter. In street photography, I'm happy with blurred photographs, quite honest with you. And I like the way you've caught this one, where the girl is obviously looking at you as they've driven past, and maybe just a tad brighten it up a little bit and sharpen it if you can. But I think on that would just emphasize the structure of the image, and you're not looking to get this into focus by sharpening it. You're looking to basically just give it a little bit more punch. So we'll have to have a look at doing some work on a Lightroom soon, when I can fathom how to make sure you can see my modular sliders working, the developer sliders working. But I like the image, John. Well done for capturing that one. And this one John sent through to me, and we had a discussion about it, and it's a lot better than what it was before, where it was quite a dark image. You've got the tunnel vision all the way down to the bottom here. It's very grainy, very noisy. That's because of the high ISO that was set on the camera at the time. And this is the famous staircase in the monument in London. Looking at it, I would like to just tone this down in this corner a little bit more. But it's certainly a lot better than what it was before. So thank you so much for putting all those. There's lots coming through. We've got a nice little group of people showing their photographs, and by the sound of things, you're quite happy for me to make comments. As again, I'm not going to critique on them, but if I can add a little bit of help to you on certain aspects, which I see as glaring. But some of you are now starting to get some good favorites through. In one particular image where I made some comment on, where I had 22 favorites. That's fantastic. And so the question on this one, social media, how do you get more people to see your photographs? Well, it's not going to happen overnight. Let's get that straight to the point. Social media activity is a long, haul. You've got to be in it for the long haul, and you've got to be a regular regular work at it all the time. The first step, obviously, is to put your photograph out there. And normally the best place to put it is FLICKR. There are other sites. 500px is another favorite of mine. And basically from there, you then build onto that your social media activity to draw people to the points where your photographs are. Don't expect by putting your photograph on FLICKR that you're going to get spotted straight away and you're going to get hundreds of favorites straight away. It just doesn't happen. There's too many photographs being posted up these days by, well, it's probably the most popular that photography has ever been since it was first invented. So really what I want to do is go to, I'm going to go to screen share as well now, and just to sort of talk you through as regards to effectively how I go about getting more attention from my photographs. Now, I would stress, I'm not a regular poster of photographs every single day. I do go through periods, especially if I've been on a walkabout or for a workshop that I've attended, where I have a stack of photographs where I want to post out. So that's my sort of workflow, for want of description. I don't post, I try not to post 3, 4, or 5 images at the same time, because that means your work is completed. So rather than posting 4 or 5 at the same time, post 1 out every day. And that's 5 days of work. And you only need to do that on a more regular basis. And then people immediately start saying, oh, for me, Paul Griffiths has now just updated another photograph on his FLICKR or his 500px site. So spread your work out. Don't think by putting 100 photographs on the site straight away is going to get you noticed and get you get some followers. Spread your work out, but be regular. So let's go to screen share again. And we're really, from this point of view, we're not talking about creating a presence or of business or anything of that nature. What we're looking to do here is to get our photographs recognized. So if I come out of this one, I was just doing some searching for that article I mentioned about the landscapes. So I have a 500px side which is called Paul Griffiths Photos. The majority of all my other social network is titled Photography Live and Uncut, or something similar to that, like Photo Live and Uncut. 500px is where I put what I consider my best photographs. So these are a series of photographs which will be of street, be of some landscapes, be some abstract shots, some photographs that I've done on my iPhone, and some work which I've played around with and created some artistry type work. For instance, this one here is a double exposure using my Fuji X100S. Now, if you're not familiar with 500px, the great thing about this particular website is that your photos are voted on by other people on 500px, and you can see, for instance, this one has rated up at 68.9%, if you want to call it, and it's had 68 views. 12 people have liked it, and I put all the details in for that. Now, if we go to some other images on this site, for instance, the one which I put up very recently, you can see the guitarist here got me to a pulse of 92.8, and I've had 56 likes after 226 views. So what I'm looking to do here is putting my best work out on 500px to get it recognized from this body of viewers. This one 90.5, which is, this is where I'm looking to get my photographs to. Anything in my book above 75 pulses, as they call it, is good in my book. And if it maintains at that level, then I'm happy with that. So what I then do from there, generally, I say generally, my photograph is then is automatically posted to FLICKR. And you can see the repeat here. FLICKR from 500px, these images have been automatically loaded. I'm going to come to the point how you actually do this later on, but this is how I start to get I don't have to repost this image. I've just posted it the once to the 500 site. It's automatically loaded to the FLICKR site. And you can see here 12 favorites on that one and 8 favorites on that one and 2 favorites on that. Now, FLICKR is a bigger body than 500px, so you've got to appreciate with the millions of people that are on FLICKR, it's very difficult to break through. So what I then try to do is to add my photograph onto Instagram. Now, a lot of you will know Instagram. It's part of the Facebook group, and you can there add your photographs in. Now, again, a lot of these are repeat images from 500px. It's a different audience. You've got to appreciate that the 500, the FLICKR, and the Instagram potentially are all different audiences, and you just want to get your work out to basically get the notification and for people to start following you and eventually start voting on your work. There's the 500 site. The next one to consider using is Pinterest. Now, in Pinterest, you create, like you've seen me with the little boards that I create for the show, you create boards of interests, of favorites. And as you build your boards up, then of course you can set what you want to record. So here, Photography Live and Uncut, that basically is my interview show. I then have a portfolio board where I show my images, which I like to show, which have all, as you can see, have all been forwarded onto from 500px. And basically, if I clicked on that 500px image there, it will take me back. It takes me to the 500px, but eventually it would take me back to the 500px portfolio. I then have on Facebook 2 pages. One is my timeline, and then I have obviously Photography Live and Uncut is a business page, but it's not associated with business just yet. But on here will be all my regular updating of the shows, the workshops, and the interviews. And sometimes there'll be some articles which I've spotted, and I've shared other people's work and photographs that I've uploaded via the FLICKR group. So I'm now working FLICKR to post into Facebook. I just scroll down there and I've just recognized Juliana's latest work. And then, of course, we have Twitter. So my photograph and comments that I make are now posted onto Photography Live and Uncut, or Photo Live Uncut, which is the Twitter handle. And you can see here the postings which I've made of beaches in Broadstairs, where I was at the weekend, and then the workshops, some photographs which I've taken from other shows, and articles that I've seen by other people. This is pretty just social media sharing, which gets you noticed. There's nothing better than sharing other people's work. And then there's one final website which I really do enjoy using. Is called ELLO, ELLO.co, which you can join and log in, and you can post your images. And the great thing about this site is your images are posted very, very large. It's a beautiful website. I'm not logged in on that one a minute, so I can't actually show you any more images there. So how do I go about posting all these images and all these posts at the same time without spending hours and hours at the website consistently working out where I'm going to post things? I use if this then that, ifttt.com. Go onto this website and log yourself in and create a user. It gives you menus. So you'll see what happens here, but very simply. If I post an image to 500px, ifttt immediately posts it to FLICKR. FLICKR will then post it to my Facebook page, the Photography Live and Uncut, and the Photography Live and Uncut Facebook page will then post it to WordPress site, which is one of my blogs. The 500px upload will then also load to my Tumblr site, and my FLICKR will update to my Twitter, and so on and so forth. So the work is being done for you by using ifttt.com. It's very, very simple to set up, but of course you must have accounts with these social medias before you set your menus up. And if you are logged into those medias, the program within ifttt will recognize your call signs to your FLICKR, to your Facebook, to your Pinterest, and to your Twitter sites, and you just make the flow as regards to how you want where you want the post to go. There's one other social site that I use, which is called Medium, which I'm just experimenting with at the moment. Blogger, you can see Blogger here is the direct word blogging site for Google and Google Plus. And that's important for me to keep things going through on that particular one. I'll show you Blogger in a minute. And then Ello, post to Pinterest, and then post to my Twitter account and Tumblr, and my YouTube, again, which is very important. Every YouTube video like this one and others will be posted immediately to my Twitter account. So social media works on the basis, I'm keeping this very, very simple for everyone, because I respect that there are a number of people out there that already do some form of social media work. One thing you've got to remember, if you are on blogs such as Tumblr, WordPress, Medium, and Blogger, they have different audiences, and it's very difficult for you to probably post the same individual article or image to those 4 different sites at the same time. So you have to sort of keep an eye on as regards to what's being shown on these blogging sites. WordPress and Blogger and Tumblr tend to be blogs where you're writing articles and you want to show your images, and it's basically building up a sort of a diary of your photographic experiences, if photography is your interest, of course. With regards to the photo side of things, 500px and FLICKR and Pinterest and Instagram, that just takes its natural course. You might as well just set your 500px, or you can set FLICKR to be your base to promote onto other sites. But I prefer to go 500px first onto FLICKR, and FLICKR goes to my Facebook page, and at the same time FLICKR posts to my Twitter page. Basically what this does with you doing this sort of work will get people to return back to your work through the different sites, and in actual fact get you more recognized as you go along. And in the end, the fingers crossed part is people return to your FLICKR site and start favoriting your work because they're familiar with your work, and they're familiar with your works, and they're going to like your work. And of course, at the same time, you have to improve on your work as you're going along. So look for different aspects as you post them up. So the main aspect here is I'm going to put some links in the notes of this particular show to give you an idea of the sites which you can get into. The main link of all this is if this then that, ifttt.com. Get yourself in there and create an account. Then you have to go to 500px and set an account up. This is all free, by the way. There's no money to be paid. You've obviously got your FLICKR account because I've seen your photographs there. You 9 times out, you've got your Facebook pages, your timeline, that is, and you should have a Twitter account. And just set those up, and ifttt will do the rest of the work for you. Then if you really want to go further and start developing more and creating a blog and a writing of your activities in photography and your experiences, and saying how much you enjoy the workshop with me and everyone else putting their work in, you can put that down on the in the blog, and then you can then work out a way of sharing that blog onto the different social sites. With regards to what we're doing here, we're pure hobbyists with regards to our photography. So it's important that you view it as that. If you are a budding photographer that wants to get yourself recognized in terms of professional, then this is a very good start, but you've got to be on the game all the time. You've got to be push your photography out there. But social media is not going to do it all for you. Social media is the tip end, and it helps. But it does, of course, you need, the best part is to get it printed and for you to be showing the work in front of your potential customer or posting some images out for them to have a look. So I hope that's helped with the social media side of things, because there's some work which you guys are really putting together. And personally, as I see them, I think you deserve more favorites. And also another point you can do, which is very, very helpful to everyone, is to share other people's work. Don't be frightened to say, yeah, I like that. Have a look at it, because you've got friends that are looking at your site regularly. And if you start sharing their work out, then it just blossoms, and it's sort of like a reverse mushroom effect where you lead off and you get other people then will return to you. The person's work that you've shared will come and look at your work. He may like your work. He'll give you a little favorite. He may share your work on. And it starts to build a total spider's web, exactly how the internet was set up to do, for people to share their work, their thoughts, their comments, and their lifestyle. So I hope this has really helped you with social media. It's just a tip of the iceberg, because there are so many new options out there that we haven't even started to talk about. Snapchat, Periscope, Facebook Live, Google Plus, which I'm doing this on here, which is another sharing format, which I use Google Plus quite a bit, but it's more sort of centralized Google Plus with regards to the sharing your work within Google Plus. It doesn't give you the opportunity to share outside of Google Plus to other formats. They're starting to look at it, but some of those links are not really working to my satisfaction as we speak, and that may change in the future. So have a look at all these links, but the first thing I would suggest is you set your IFTTT account up, if this, then that, and then go on there and add the other social medias to your operation, and then see how it goes. Keep an eye on it, make sure they're being posted out, make sure you got your notifications so it comes through on your phone or your computer to let you know that, yep, that went through, that's working fine, and you can see how your work is developing, and then you, fingers crossed for you, you'll start getting more favorites and more likes of your work from people that are looking at your photography. And I'm seeing it, you deserve that, all of you. Some of the work you're producing is really good. And added to that, you might just get the odd comment now and then from someone, and it really does give you a lift when someone likes your work, thinks it's stunning, superb, all these words that come out. It does give you a lift, and it makes you say, I'm going to go out and take some more photographs. And that's what it is at the end of the day, getting out there, taking more photographs. I hope you've enjoyed this short workshop on social media. The next time I've noticed I've actual fact set a topic on my website, Photography Live and Uncut. I'm going to talk about street portraits. That is very timely, because this weekend I'm on a walkabout in London with the Fujiholics group, and we're going to be doing a street walkabout in London, and I'm going to be doing some street portraits, and I'll be using those to show you what I did, conversations I had, and how I went about getting the image. So next week it's going to be, or next time is going to be street portraits. I think next week I'm going to have to readjust the date, because I'm going to be busy with my business. But all that said and done, I hope you can join me next time. And good luck with your social media activity. Build on it, keep them going, and please, how about one small favor for me? If you could share this video out on YouTube, that would be brilliant. Thank you very much indeed for watching tonight. And it's 5 minutes to go for the football. Man City versus Real Madrid. I'm going to go and watch it. All the best. Good shooting. Bye for now.